Hello, this is Wendy Cardenas, and welcome to Smartphone Applications in Biotechnology. In the 60s, Star Trek introduced a device that had multiple uses on the Enterprise, the tricorder. The tricorder was a communications and medical device rolled into one sweet package. Trekkie-techie baby boomers were so influenced by the tricorder that in '96, Motorola introduced the first flip phone inspired by the tricorder, the StarTAC. Since then, smartphones have changed the world. It's only reasonable to take the next step, medical tricorder.
You're out of your Vulcan mind, Spock.
Yeah, probably. So how can we get her done?
I'm a doctor, not an engineer.
Vital signs such as blood pressure, pulse, O2 sat, and temperature are paramount in any physical. Scanadu developed a device that reads and transmits the results directly to a smartphone app. Here's founder Walter de Brouwer.
I'm Walter de Brouwer. I'm the CEO and founder of Scanadu. We are a health electronics company that make the medical tricorder, which is a comprehensive medical device that takes over the diagnostic experience of a major clinic in a very small device, which connects via Bluetooth to your smartphone and gives you all the readings in 10 seconds. And then, and then you have to create an electrical circuit by indeed. And now it's going to scan you. Just a minute. Oop, there you go. Your heart rate is 95, your temperature 98.4, your oximetry is perfect, 98%. So the rest of the algorithms we still have to fit in, but then you will have also your systolic, your diastolic blood pressure, your respiration, and the fact that in your heart rate, actually what is the part of stress in there. They are stored and you can analyze them, you can also connect them with the medicine you take to see how your vitals actually fluctuate.
Well, fascinating is a word I use for the unexpected.
Right? Scanadu also developed urinalysis capabilities by using a smartphone camera to read dipstick results. Sam de Brouwer explains.
So I'm dipping up. Good. I've done that.
And how long do you let it sit there?
1 minute.
1 minute, okay.
Here. And that's the scientific minute because that's the time it takes for certain reagents to react. But what the app does, it does three things. The app reads the colors, so we are using colorimetry. The second thing, the app reads the colors in any light settings. So what you should do normally with that machine, going in a lab, in a light box, we have removed that process. Our algorithm is able to do that in any light settings, bathroom, restroom, whatever. The third thing, it goes granular. It's actually giving me a number. So as you can see here, the app, it is scanning. All right, and here you go. So here, it showed protein and blood. As I told you, that's a urine mark with that. So when it's red, there's something that is not normal. When it's green, it's all normal.
Fascinating.
Yeah. In 2016, the Scanadu Scout tricorder failed to get FDA approval and was shut down. In the same year, Walter de Brouwer stepped down as CEO of Scanadu. According to their website, the company is still seeking FDA approval for their urinalysis device.
I find your arguments strewn with gaping defects in logic.
Apparently, so did the FDA Scanadu. UCheck is another smartphone urinalysis app developed by Mishkin Ingwal. Ingwal was inspired to develop this app for his diabetic father-in-law. Listen to this incredulous chick try and explain.
Ingwal claims the $20 app works by first dipping a special strip in urine, then placing it on a mat designed to correct the camera's eye for color, no matter what the light. After the picture is taken, UCheck supposedly analyzes the color for conditions including diabetes, urinary tract infections, liver problems, or even cancer. Ingwal says his app is being tested in a Mumbai hospital to see if its accuracy can compare with $10,000 lab equipment.
Fascinating.
Yes, Spock. Both Scanadu and UCheck touted the ability for the smartphone camera to correct for the lack of a light box. Typical analyzers take the dipstick into a dark box to measure the color change. So far, that hasn't been the case, but UCheck has come up with a small and portable version of the light box analyzer. Urine dipsticks monitor many things such as UTI, kidney function, liver function, and diabetes. Diabetics have to check their blood sugar sometimes 3 times a day. This requires carrying a lot of equipment in addition to a cell phone. Now, there's an app for that.
James Winchester, who is diabetic, travels around the country demonstrating how to turn your phone into a life-saving blood glucose meter. You need just 2 things, the G-Mate phone app and the smart device. It's the size of a quarter and plugs into the headphone jack of your phone.
When it's ready for the strip, it tells you it's ready for the strip. Next step is insert the strip. Simply apply the blood, running its checks, and here's the result.
And since smartphones are basically handheld computers, the app keeps track of all the results and charts your blood sugars over time. And you can instantly email all those results to your doctor.
Tests such as HIV and syphilis can also be done on a smartphone to provide prenatal care to many women in rural and third world countries. These tests are generally enzyme-linked immunoassays, or ELISA, that require the addition of reagents at different intervals to get positive or negative results. This smartphone technology brings more portability and more access to these life-saving tests.
The developers of a new low-cost mobile lab device that can turn any smartphone into an HIV and syphilis tester hope it will be a life changer for HIV patients in remote parts of the world. All it takes is a drop of blood and 15 minutes. The blood sample is placed on a plastic collector which is inserted into the user's smartphone. The user then launches the app and pushes down a button to release the reagents needed for the test.
It's really a matter of life and death, because for a lot of these patients, they simply cannot travel the distances to testing clinics to get their blood drawn and get the results, which means that they're not treated for these conditions. And in this specific case, pregnant women, they are not treated for HIV or syphilis. They will pass these diseases on to their newborns, and a lot of times the newborns aren't even born alive.
Fascinating.
Okay, Spock. Malaria is also a concern in third world countries. Researchers at Texas A&M are working on turning the smartphone camera into a microscope. Let's listen to this guy.
One of the things we've been working on in my lab is to transform a cell phone, a simple cell phone, into a very high powerful microscope. Why do we want to do this? We need something in the field as a point of care device to detect malaria, for instance. And the thing we can do is, with some lenses, use the cell phone's camera to effectively show the malaria cells and the birefringence of the malaria in order to detect something around the size of 10 times to 20 times smaller than a human hair.
This is a typical smear of a person infected with malaria. The ring protozoa that are circled can be missed because they look like platelets lying on top of a red cell. The glow in polarizing light can make the ID much faster, and the faster the diagnosis, the better for the patient.
Fascinating.
I know, but what about the whole medical lab? We're getting closer than ever to this actually becoming a reality. This chick from ABC 7 News is going to tell Stephen all about it.
Stephen, imagine being able to test your blood simply by sticking your finger on your phone. A startup called Cloud Lab is working to develop the world's first touchscreen-based biosensor. This biosensor would be incredibly helpful to patients who have to make numerous trips to the hospital for blood monitoring. The startup says the technology would be able to turn your smartphone touchscreen into a device capable of reading your blood. There would be no plug-in required. It would work with a simple disposable layer that you could place on your screen. Cloud Lab says that most smartphones come embedded with the sensors. Now, those sensors that are normally used for finger tracking could also detect other disruptions, such as a droplet of blood, which could then be analyzed.
Please, Spock, do me a favor, and don't say it's fascinating. No. But it is interesting.
In August of this year, the University of Illinois Urbana Bioengineering Department have developed a smartphone app that turns a phone into a spectral analyzer. Professor Brian Cunningham introduced the Transmission Reflectance Intensity Analyzer in a paper.
Genius is an understatement.
Thank you, Captain. In the paper, Cunningham lays out how the analyzer can test for biomarkers for preterm birth and test a newborn for PKU. This is truly groundbreaking and can lead to more advancements in rural and third world medicine.
That should prove very interesting.